Alrighty. Just what went on today. Last night before I went to bed, I set orders for this fair value get 4 hour fair value gap to go long in case Asia got in there and decided to take off. Um, we never got there. And right before I fell asleep, I sold 2 contracts. Now, I did not put a stop on. Um, so, uh, But if I was trading that in an actual account, yes, I would have had a stop loss set. My target was down here, just above the fair value gap, and then I would have hit. If it had come down, then I would have caught that profit, and then probably got long and woke up to being in a trade long at that point. Never did get down there. It would have stopped me out first. Um, so that would have been an $800 loss, uh, and I would be okay with that. Woke up a little bit late this morning. I like to get up and be on the charts by 7, but I did not set an alarm because it was a day off, and I just wanted to sleep as long as my body wanted to sleep. So, um, got on the charts just a little after 7:30 this morning, and let's move to the 1 minute chart where we actually traded at. Uh, and that's when we actually came down into the area. Now, since I didn't have a stop on that trade, I was actually in profit when I woke up. Um, and I closed the trade right here. Now, that trade actually made $2,200. Okay. But that actually, the truth of the matter is that would have been an $800 loss. Okay. So we have to take that into account. All right. If we were actually trading it, I would not trade that in a combine or a funded account just because I am not confident in the overnight trades yet. They need much bigger stop losses, and that one probably wouldn't have given me enough risk reward to take that big of a stop loss. Um, so I'm really just not counting that trade uh, in today's numbers. Okay, uh, it was just a trade I put on just to see what would happen. Uh, Now, I did trade everything in a paper trading account today because, again, I am working on my discipline. And when I am working on something in my trading, I'm not going to do it in a combine or a funded account. Okay. Um, and the goal of the week is to uh, be more patient, wait for those trades, don't trade as much size, take a what what I'm looking for is around $2,000 a day in profits um, per account. So wait for the good setups and take them. If they don't show up, don't you just don't trade. Um, so when I got on the charts this morning, we were, you know, just coming down into this fair value gap. Uh, I got the live stream up and running, and I entered on this candle here. Now, I got in too early, and I'll have to mark that in my journal as a mistake that I made because it was above this fair value gap, but still had about 10 seconds left on the candle, and it actually did pull back and not close that fair value gap. I should have waited for the close, and I would not have gotten in there. I would have gotten in here on the close of this candle that did actually invert the fair value gap. Now, that's not a big difference, but it's still a mistake in trading. I am supposed to wait for the close of the candle that inverts the last downward fair value gap, right? Um, so we got in the trade here with 2 contracts. Then when it inverted the second fair value gap, which was much bigger, um, I added 2 contracts there. Okay. And I added it 138. Now, yes, that was also, uh, I think, or did I wait? Yeah, it was before the candle closed because it was up here in the wick, but there was like 3 seconds left. And I did not see it pulling all the way back down here in the last 3 seconds of the candle. So, I was okay with that entry. I don't need to wait for the close of that entry if I'm going to add. That was a very strong push that had like 3 seconds left on the candle. Um, so I added there. Um, and actually, if I had waited for the close of the candle, my average price would have been a few ticks better, right? Um, so added there, and um, I targeted this high to take two contracts off and got that fill. And then I targeted this high to close the trade, and I got that fill. Okay. So, with that being said, not counting this trade, because it's not a trade I would actually take in a combine or funded account, uh, I made my $2,000. Okay. Pretty much dead on. Okay. $2,000, which is kind of crazy. Um, and I had that profit by 8 o'clock. I think it was 8:11 in the morning. 8:09 is when I closed that trade, and I would be done for the day. Okay, I got my one trade win. Um, I'm done for the day. Now that is not exactly 3 to 1. Okay, um, from the original trade, right? Um, if it, if I was actually that was 1.34, right? And it wasn't even that. It was I took the original two contracts off at a 1 to 1. Okay. If I was looking for 3 to 1, uh, we would have hit that target, and that would be $2,400 on the two contracts. Okay. Um, oh, whoa, whoa. Okay. Look that. Let's lock that in. Um, but we would have hit our target on that uh, by 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Um, if I was looking for 3 to 1, but I am kind of, especially since I'm adding contracts, I really don't need the 3 to 1. Um, oh, look at the open go. Um, because, you know, 3 to 1 would be $2,400. So I'm $400 short of a 3 to 1, but I made 2,000. Okay. That will cover two losses. Should I take two losses after this? And I would still be a couple $100 up in the account, right? Um, so that's kind of the way I'm looking at it, because not all these trades are going to give me 3 to 1, but on a 1 minute chart, I should be able to get enough to get up around that $2,000 mark per day, maybe a little more, right? Um, and I am not opposed to taking other trades. Um, the thought is one win and you're done, right? Well, if this trade didn't give me a full $2,000 before I got out of it, then I might look for another short trade somewhere, right? To get me up to that level. Um, and it's just kind of interesting to watch. Oh, look at that. Uh, this is 2.3 to 1. Uh, this is a trade that I possibly could have taken, but I didn't take because I'd already made my trade money for the morning. Okay, so no worries about that. But this was a trade that could have been taken. And look at there. Wow. Boom. Target profit hit. Wow. That is awesome. That is crazy, crazy, crazy awesome. Look at that. Boom shakalaka. All right. So, still going. Um, so yeah, the trade idea this morning was, we were looking to come in into this 4 hour fair value gap. We got there. That also was breaking the Asia low and the London low, taking liquidity from those lows uh, into the fair value gap, and we got our bounce and we got our profits. Okay, those are the trades I'm looking for and waiting for, the higher probability trades to trade. Now, a lot of times I'm just trading 4 hour swing levels, right? Swing points. And those are lower probability trades because a lot of times there's no fair value gap there. Um, so maybe on the mornings where we're getting this good of a setup, where we're taking liquidity from Asia and London lows or highs into a fair value gap, 4 hour fair value gap, maybe I should look for those, hold those trades a little longer, right? Because if I had held that trade till the open, I mean, look what would have happened. I mean, you take you take two contracts from there to there, um, and I would say you're probably going to go sweep this 4 hour London high up here. You turn that trade into a 5.2 to 3, and on two contracts, uh, you know, that's a $4,000 trade instead of a $2,000 trade. And then with the ad, you get a little bit more value out of that, and you're probably up around, $5,000, $6,000 for the day. Um, so very good setup, and even leaving one contract for a runner instead of taking the whole trade off here um, would have worked out nicely as well, right? So one of the things I'll continue to look at and go through the trade reviews at the end of the day. I am marking up the ones I take, and I am marking up the ones that are trades that could have been taken. Okay. And if I am not mistaken, I think I was on the 5 minute chart when I saw this one. Yep. Um, this was, no, actually, I was on the 1 minute chart. Um, this trade was a break above uh, the previous day's low, and I was looking for that to hold. And because I'm still bullish overall in the market, so I'm looking at this as just a sweep of liquidity below the previous day's low, below the Asia low, below the London low, into a 4 hour fair value gap. This is a 1 minute uh, fair value gap, so take that off. Into this 4 hour fair value gap. Perfect setup for a liquidity sweep into multiple lows and into the 4 hour fair value gap. Um, and I'm still bullish on the overall market, so this would have been, you know, all of my time frames aligning from the 1 minute all the way up to the 4 hour, right? And the daily. So this is a trade I probably could have left a one contract runner on and just trailed my stop. Uh, but we'll work with that later. So I'm marking up trades that could have been as well. This is one. Would have been a nice, I think that probably even hit 3 to 1. Uh, yeah, yeah. So that would have hit 3 to 1 back up to the New York high. And I think we even go uh, above that. So, you know, we've completed the market maker model of the 1 minute, but being bullish overall on the higher time frames, I think this is definitely going to go higher. Uh, and now that we're back above the previous day's low, Yeah, we'll have to see, but that push up on the open makes me think this is definitely going to be uh, a long day. Um, if we get back up in here, um, then we'll see what happens. We have taken a pretty good bit of liquidity out of this inverted fair value gap and this bullish fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. So we'll have to see if it breaks the previous day's high up there in that gap and gets back through. If it does, then I'll take off the bullish inverted, which is the purple, and I'll invert the bearish and look for this to go higher. So that is kind of it for the day. Again, you know, I really want to uh, look for that one win trade on the day. But when all of my time frames are in alignment and I'm in alignment with the overall market, I really probably should leave that one contract on as a runner when we get into a trade like this, just to catch these opportunities for much higher prices. All right, I'm gonna call that a video. I will post it up a little bit later today because the dogs are waking up, and that means they're gonna have to go out, and I can finish my day. Uh, if it was a trading day, sitting at the desk at 8:09 in the morning, I've made my profit. I'm done for the day. I can go enjoy uh, the rest of my time. So I'm going to shut down the live stage on Discord, even though I'm typically on the charts till 10:30. Uh, at this point, I would be done for the day unless I was just trailing the stop and uh, wanted to sit around and watch that one. Um, where do I think we're going now? Well, we've hit this 4 hour fair value gap, so I want to see us, on a larger time frame bullish uh, sentiment. My higher time frame uh, target profit would be back up here, taking internal liquidity, heading for external liquidity. My first goal would be here. My second goal would be up here. Um, so let's see what happens with price today. I think we, at the very least, get back up here, and we do have absolute possibility of getting all the way back up here. Okay, um, we'll just have to see. This was a really big slam down, so you know the other possibility for the day is we go up, we take liquidity, then we invert this 4 hour fair value gap. If that happens, then I think we are um, moving to sell side of the market, and we have liquidity down here at double bottoms. Here, the monthly open, we could grab liquidity from and move back up. Um, I would have to look and see if I can find another fair value gap, 4 hour fair value gap down here somewhere. Um, but uh, that's the two possibilities on the day. We're just kind of stuck between these fair value gaps, which is very tradable. Uh, just wait till you get to those 4 hour levels to trade. See what the market tells you. Okay, and go from there. But I've made my money for the morning. I am going to call it a day because I have laundry to do, some grocery shopping to do, get ready to take off for the week and get back to work. So trade well, everybody. Enjoy the day, and I will see you again for the daily review this evening.